often different service lines and different platforms and components are built by independent product teams. Having an appropriate integration strategy that brings those together in a consistent way is important. It's important from the customer experience point of view, but also it's really important to make sure you've got good integration between all those different parts of the system. And it's essential, really, that organizations have a testing strategy that looks at the challenges around integration and gets it right. And that integration strategy really needs to cover things like the availability and provision of data. It needs to cover off the fact that you won't always, in fact, rarely, have an exact replica of the production environment. So how would you go about proving that your integrations are working properly, using virtualization, for example, to emulate an end service? And automation is key here as well.
So the QA has to be focused on the channels. But then if you look at channels these days, most of them are, you can move from one to the other fairly easily if you build it correctly. So in other words, it will just update depending whether you've got a tablet, whether you've got mobile and so forth. So I think the QA element there and how to deal with those challenges is to really get individuals involved with the channel development. So I think a lot of it's really, as always, having the right level of expertise, having the relevant involvement from the key stakeholders, be they internal or external. And I think then as well, it's also being able to prototype it fairly early on.
There is no one size fits all in relation to mobile apps, online banking, wallets, and capabilities from other digital sources. Each of the platforms has a different set of customer experience and workflows. And from a testing point of view, one human being will act and react differently depending on channels. And so from a channels point of view, you have to be able to test from a fit for purpose channel rather than a generic set of tests which are theoretically going to cross the multi-channel environment.